Hey, what's up? It's Craig from Dadport. Thank you so much for all your comments, your emails, connecting with us. You could always reach us on Twitter at Dadport. You could always reach us at dadport.com or certainly comment here below. I also want to remind you to share this on Facebook with your friends. If you find any of the information useful, like it and subscribe to our channel. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I'm so excited to share moments of being a dad and experiences with my kids so that you could do them with yours, or you could learn from them, or you can share yours with me. I'll also be taking on some of your topics if you want me to discuss them. If you've got questions, I'm here to help. I want to tell you something. As parents, very often we like to do things, this is the way we're going to do it, okay? We're going to go A to B to C to D to E. Now, some parents do things differently. But many parents said, this is what we're going to do. And they tell their kids, okay, go get dressed. All right, now we're going to get your lunch. Okay, now we're going to get on our way to school. Buckle your seatbelt. Sit in the car. Listen to the music. I'm going to drop you off. That's the regiment. This is how we do it. But I wanted to be different. I wanted to push my boundaries. I wanted to test myself. Because being so rigid is very predictable for the kids, and they like that to some extent. But letting them be free is sometimes wonderful. And you know what? It allows us to really be free too. It allows us to open up and push our boundaries. So in this experience, I want you to give it a try. Push your boundaries, be flexible, not so rigid, get out of your comfort zone. Here's what I did. Last Friday, I picked up my kids from camp. As I've mentioned, they're 4 and 6. And I said to the girls, I said, I had nothing planned. I didn't know what to do. I picked them up at 3 o'clock and I said, hey girls, today we are going to do whatever you want. And they said, well, what do you mean? I said, today is anything day. Today is anything day. They go, oh, what is that? We can do anything we want? I'm like, within reason, you could do anything you want. I said, we can't go buy something very, very expensive. I don't have any money for that. We can't go to Disneyland because we just don't have the time. It's 3 o'clock. We need to be back in time for bed. We still have to eat dinner and brush our teeth and go to bed at a reasonable time. But within reason, you could do whatever they want. They got so excited. I said we could do whatever you want or your sister wants, or we could do one of each. We could do both. We could do as much things as you want as long as we have time for it. And the first thing they said is, could we go get ice cream? I said, sure. Where do you want to go? You got to pick the place. They said, we want to go to Yogurtland. I said, okay. And then where? So I figured out which one Yogurtland we'd go to. They said, then we want to go to the mall to the play place. So we went to Yogurtland, and again, within reason. They said, we want 4 flavors. I said, sure, you can have 4 flavors. Now, that just means you get less ice cream. They're still getting the same volume of ice cream every time, but they're getting like 4 little flavors. And then they said, can we get 2 toppings? I'm like, sure. So they got 2 toppings. Or maybe we did 3. I don't remember. But I wanted to have them have that experience like this was their day. Truly anything goes within reason. After that, we went to the mall. Pushed my boundaries because they wanted to go to the play place. And at the play place, at the mall, there's all these kids and germs and run around bare feet and drooling and climbing and touching because it's a hot day. This is where all the parents bring all their kids to go there, and my kids there too. And there's a couple things that happen at the mall. First off, some parents think this is a babysitting joint. They sit there and they're on their phone the whole time. They don't even watch their kids at all. They're there for 30 minutes and they never even look up to see if their kid is the one who's pushing, pulling, running around like an animal. The parents are not parenting, but we'll do that segment another time. So I'm there watching my kids play and pushing my boundaries because, again, all these germs and stuff, they're having a good time. Just made sure when we were done, we washed our hands really well, and that was it. This is what they wanted. After they said, can we go to Annie Ann's and get a pretzel or see if they have samples? I said, you can go see if they have samples. They went up to the lady and said, do you have any samples? And they said, yes, we do. And they gave them samples. They were so excited. And then they're like, can we go to the Tesla store? I said, sure, we'd go to the Tesla store. And they went to the Tesla store and they had a great time. And they got coloring books. And then they're like, we want to go to Best Buy. I'm like, okay. My youngest wanted to go to Best Buy for the past couple of weeks as we drove by it. She's like, I want to go to Best Buy. I'm like, okay. But here's what happened when we got to Best Buy. Take a look. Honey. Well, how come we came to Best Buy? You thought Best Buy was Ikea?
No, it's not Best Buy. And I'm playing place. I got Ikea.
Your daddy had a play place. It's okay. Okay. So, unfortunately, that's how Best Buy went. Because Best Buy's logo is yellow and black. Ikea is yellow and blue. My 4-year-old confused them. She's been to Ikea's play place once, and she thought Best Buy was Ikea. So she walked in on anything day and started crying. And unfortunately, there was no way we can get to the Ikea and be back at home within reason with traffic. It just wouldn't have worked. If it was earlier, I would have said for sure. So there we are, and she's sad and crying inside a Best Buy. And I'll post that video in the description at some point. And you can see the whole thing and how we dealt with it. But we made the best of Best Buy. My oldest, my 6-year-old, was like, let's go play on the iPad, play on the phone. I'm like, well, we could do it. Sure. Go ahead, no problem. But remember, we have those at home, and we don't really want to do too much of that. So we made, we let them walk around the store. They explored it, and then we came home. And she was fine shortly thereafter. She was just in shock that Best Buy was not Ikea. We came home, and it was dinner time. And again, I gave them options, and they got to choose whatever they wanted for dinner. And then they said, Dad, can we eat in the living room? Now, some of you might do that all the time and watch TV, right? So for me, we don't watch TV generally when we eat. We connect, we interact, we learn, we talk. And we don't eat in the living room. But why not? What's the harm in that? If we're careful, we spill something on the floor, we can clean it up. If they watch TV while we're eating, and it's not all the time, they'll live. So we did. They picked the dinner, which was healthy and nutritious, but they got to pick what options they wanted. They got to eat in front of the TV and in the living room. Then they went upstairs and brushed their teeth and got ready for bed. And they said it's anything day, and they're able to do whatever they want. They wanted to stay up a little later, so they got maybe 30 minutes extra. It was no school the next day or camp, so sure. And then they said to me this, it's still anything day, right? I said, sure. We want to sleep in your bed with you. Okay, so that's another topic that we'll go into depth a little bit more because I have feelings about your kids sleeping in your bed. But again, it's anything day. And as long as it's not all the time, sure. I don't personally like it for another reason because I don't sleep well. These two kids want me to sleep in the middle, and I have a giant king-size bed. I have plenty of room, but they turn sideways at night, and there's a foot in my face and my rib, and I sleep awful. And because I sleep with like one eye open all night because I don't want to make sure they fall off the bed, and even though we pat it and make sure they're in, it's still a concern, right? So, but they were so excited. They got to sleep in Dad's bed, and they then said, could we listen to music? Why not? So I put the music on for 20 minutes while they're laying in bed, falling asleep, and I turned it off. I had to go back downstairs and work on a few things, do some laundry while they're sleeping in bed, and I got in bed. And it was just a really, really empowering moment for me, but more so for them. And I challenge you this. Push those boundaries a little bit. As long as you feel they're safe, as long as you feel they're not going to hurt anything, as long as you feel comfortable with it and can do it, give them that opportunity. Because here's the thing. We tell our kids all the time what to do. From clean your room to get in the car and buckle up, put your seatbelt on, to go upstairs, get changed, go brush your teeth, whatever. But when they get to tell us what to do, boy, does that change things. Does that really make them feel like they're heard? Does that really make them feel like they're being listened to? Does that really make them feel like they're being respected by you? Does that really make them feel like they have control, like they're empowered, like what they're saying matters? And I'll tell you what, it does. It truly does. And you're giving them the power. Now, they still have to be kind and caring and manners, but they're able to make and map out the day or evening and have those choices. It's truly empowering and a really great way for you guys to connect, share a bond, and really see an experience between you and them like you may have never had before. So, try anything day. Try pushing the boundaries and experiencing things that maybe you would say, nah, I'm not going to feel comfortable doing this, but we'll do it anyway. You know, really, if they want to drive to the mall and play in play place, for me, that was like, but okay. I can do it. Grow with your kids. Love your kids. Always find the fun in whatever you do. Respect them. They'll respect you. Boundaries are great, as my doctor always says. But make sure that you're willing to be flexible with them if they need to be. Not all the time, if they need to be. So try anything day. Do it. Anything they want, within reason. Set some boundaries and parameters, and live life. Enjoy it. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Go ahead and click like, subscribe. Thanks for sitting with me for this long. My longest blog, I think, ever. So yeah, go ahead and click around on the screen. I'm so glad you're with us. Have a wonderful day. Continue being great parents, and know that you're going to mess up. Know you're going to make mistakes, and know that it's okay as long as you try doing better next time. I love you. I'm here for you. Take care.